So you talked about that in terms of like kind of off season type stuff, and we'll get into that later on the show, but talk about real quick on what you think from an off season, how this off season is a little bit different because typically being this late in the cycle, you kind of get just slim pickings. But there seems like there be some names out there that people are throwing around. Obviously Mike McDaniel being one. I even heard about Harbaugh coming in and unseating Nick. I heard about uh uh what's his boy name from the Giants? Debo
Dabble, Brian
Dabo,
Dabble.
because he has some connections with
He coached
Jalen.
Jalen at
He coached,
Alabama.
yeah, he coached Jalen in Alabama. So, what do you think is out there from OC standpoint, being this late in the process and late in the cycle?
So, if you look at all the total names right now out there, Mike McDaniel's makes the most sense. He was a head coach, got fired. Brian Dabble makes sense. He was a head coach, got fired. So those guys are probably open to any job opportunity. But then if you look at the offensive minded coaches available, Cliff Kingsbury mutually parted ways with the Commanders. So is that
Yep.
a change of scenery, or does he want to take a head coach position? Then you got Clint Kubiak, basically a son of another NFL head coach. And if
Correct.
he's following the trend of what Brian Schottenheimer is doing with Dallas and he's showing flashes, does he go be a head coach somewhere elsewhere? Then you got, guys I feel like would be like you throw to John Harbaugh. That would be a full circle moment for Philly. He was a special teams coordinator during the Andy Reid era. And then, eventually he's part of that Andy Reid, coach tree. Now he comes back full circle to Philly to dethrone Nick Sirianni as a head coach. And then we still run into that same issue: who's going to be the play caller, who's going to be the offensive coordinator. So Nick is not going to get fired unless, for some odd reason, Jeffrey Lurie sees the painting and the endless cycle we're going to go through and decides, after the end of season meeting, like, hey, next season you're going to be the play caller. If not, kind of give him like that ultimatum they gave Doug Peterson when it came to, hey, you got to get rid of Press Taylor or we're going to go look somewhere else. For Nick, it's going to be, you're going to be a play caller or we have to look somewhere else, because Jalen is constantly going to keep going through new voices as long as, like I said, that OC position is going to be a revolving door, unless Nick takes that next step and be the official play caller so we can have that consistency.
But it's the same offense. It's just somebody has a different flavor of it. It's the same. It's like it's still Nick and Jalen's offense, and it's been like that since Sirianni's been here. But it's just different concepts and different ideologies from different OCs that kind of come in. But they all try to marry it to what Jalen does well. Like people talk about the Steichens, people talk about the Kellen Moores. Like we need that again. That's because we had success and we went to the Super Bowl. But to me, Sean Steichen, Sean Steichen was he came up with Sirianni. Sirianni hired him, so they both worked together to get the offense right, and they got hot. Right, I think we won the Super Bowl as a wild card that year, if I'm not mistaken. So they got hot late with a strong defense, right? And then Kellen Moore's year, right? We had the greatest running back season of all time happen. Jalen didn't even throw for 3,000 yards. So Jalen didn't do much or didn't need to do much and only was called upon when he was called upon and he was able to deliver.